1 second, please. I'm here now, so yeah. Hey yo, Matt, what's up? How are you? Oh yeah. You receive it, Matt. So we are playing horror novel, Tiny Bunny. I'm fine, how are you? Well, I'm fine too. Just playing horror novels at night because it is 9:30 by my time. So yeah, maybe it isn't a great idea because I don't know what will be happened here. Yeah, thanks. Nah, not at all. So we will start right now. You're ready? I know you're ready, so we begin. I guess I'm proud now what I used to watch horror novels. Wind go out at my window all night long. It wandered the clouds and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneering, twisted in the air. In the air. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that bowed occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen autumn its day, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced to the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. one could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. Sorry for my bad English, because it is my first attempt to read in English language, so yep. I'm not too good, so yeah. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. Just a potato. I knew it was just my imagination. I was ready to laugh after all. Still. Episode 1. The owl will arrive.
Убери книгу немедленно.
Put away your book.
Сколько раз говорила, не читай за столом, вредно. Сидишь, сутулился весь.
How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. Your voice is kinda fits this. Thank you, Matt. Oh, okay. Well, it is. Ooh. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times in a way. Ola had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials.
Пока не съешь, из-за стола не встанешь.
You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the blade in my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. As the anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. Bokuwa Hadesu. Hello, Pekelnut! We are playing some horror. Yeah. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from a Coast to Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes.
Что я говорила?
What did I just say?
Я достану.
I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for a spoon. What is this carrot on the other side of the table? Karina. The way you read this reminds me of porn readers. I know it's weird, but reminds me of. Wait, how did you know? You watched this? Oh, me too. Hey, that's my mom's name. I guess she cut it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar. Fool. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of bad mood lately. I imagined her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then, or the sounds coming from the attic, or the thick forest? I imagined my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting on the edge of her bed where Ola sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice.
Тайга — особое место, дитятка.
Taiga is a special Grace, little girl.
Она к тебе присматривается, принюхивается,
It's watching you closely, sniffing you out,
словно хочет понять, что ты за зверь такой.
trying to discern what kind of beast you are.
Понравишься, в беде не бросит.
If you are a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble.
А будешь проказничать, схватит за бочок и утащит с собой под землю.
But if you are a bad apple, it will grab you by the side and drag you under the ground.
Тут и дело с концом.
And that will be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times of the maddening screams until late at night, that smashed dishes and mutual accusations. One more question, guys. Voice is normal. What about sound? It is okay, or I should make it louder or maybe louder? Yes, no. Your voice kinda quiet. Okay. What about this? That will be okay or not? What about this? I don't know. One, 2, 3. It is okay or not? Okay, I'll just wait for an answer. So I'll continue. Those were dance throughout the maddening screams until late at night, about smashed dishes and mortal accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. I used to watch this and the pandemic. That's at its strongest, so just didn't go back voice of this tune. Okay. I remember at least she had already bought a casket. She's smart, and she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures, the grey faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead, but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. All was done with her cookies, and was looking at my chair like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze to the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass.
Оля, гляди, лиса!
Oh, look, it's a fox!
Где?
I can't... And yet I still got straight. It's better. Voice is louder than gameplay, so yeah, it's better. Oh, okay. It looked almost like those optical illusions thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look at a certain angle.
Да не на улице, на стекле.
Not outside, on the window.
Смотри, вот нос,
Look,
вот.
here's the nose and here's...
Ну-ка, доедай.
Hey, it up.
Да, сейчас.
Yes, just a moment.
Я ничего не вижу.
I don't see anything.
Живо. Совсем
Hurry up.
немного осталось.
There's not much left. Oh, that
Но
is.
все равно не
But
похож.
it still doesn't look like one. It is a fox. Fox.
А я говорю, похоже.
I'm telling you, it does.
Не-а.
Nuh-uh.
Похоже.
It does.
Прекратите!
Stop it.
Ну что за
These
дети?
kids, I swear. No, I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. And away. Only the frosty patterns similar to scratched out nettle leaves keep creeping up the grass. Oh, wait a minute. I will turn off my lamp so it will be the dark in my room. Yeah. Now it's cool. Is this a Giga Chat? My dad entered the kitchen with one measured steps. It is a Giga Chat. I tell you guys. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stinks." This was long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks per an everyday occurrence. Ola always covers her ears, and whenever she hears something like, "What's the point of this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad vowed rudely, "for the sake of our family." I always called every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the dreadiest word that started with a D. Divorce. Divorce. I don't even want to finish it. Man, my family changed the plans for when I will hang out with my friends to tomorrow instead of Saturday, so sorry for change. That's okay. That's Giga Chat's dead. I don't even want to mention it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be turned apart and taken into two different families.
Да что твоя лиса? Вот у меня на окне
Anyway,
сова.
your fox is nothing. I have a novel on my window.
Опять ты со своей совой.
You and your owl talk again.
Так ты же вчера мне верил.
You said you believed me just yet today. Well, I need to say that the voice lines is cool.
Никто ключи от машины не видел?
Has anybody seen my car case?
Вроде оставлял на
I
подоконнике.
remember leaving them on the windows.
Вроде.
What is that? Okay. Right.
Вроде оставлял,
Maybe
вроде
you did,
нет.
and maybe not.
Вроде взрослый
You're a
мужчина,
grown man,
отец
and
двоих
papa
детей, а
of two,
вроде...
and still-
Перестань, пожалуйста,
Karina,
Карина.
please stop.
Дай мне
Just
спокойно
let me
собраться.
get ready in peace.
В корзине твои ключи,
Your keys
возле
are in the
телефона.
basket near the phone. Can you just tell him about it? No! You started to...
Огромное тебе
Well,
человеческое
thank you
спасибо.
very much.
Антон, ешь быстрее, а то как мученик сидишь.
And stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish it already. Hello.
Не было там никакой
There
совы.
was no owl.
Была.
But there was one.
Глазюки
It had a
огромные.
giant
Вот.
glowing
И
eye.
светятся.
Olga sprang up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers the size of an apple each.
В прошлом году бабай в шкафу.
Last
Сейчас
year you
сова.
had a babai in your closet, and now this owl. Wait, babai? Who is it? Babai in search for a nocturnal spirit used by parents to frighten their ill-behaving children. Oh, hello. Hello, I can do your nickname. Now I know how GigaChat turned into he just knocked out the bunny and impressed his family. And GigaChat is from Russia, so you're right, Matt. You're right. Welcome to my stream, whenever you be. The guy with Russian nickname, I think.
Но я же видела.
But I saw it. Ola shifted her gaze back and forth from dad to mom to me. but couldn't find any
А ты
super.
не думала подружиться с ней,
Have you
нет?
thought about befriending
Вымышленными
You know, like
мышами
feeding it
покормить,
with
например?
imaginary mice?
Не подначивай ребенка.
Don't bully our girl.
Просто мала еще.
She's
И
just
спать
afraid to
одна
sleep
боится.
alone because she's still little. Ola pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. My mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned after it. Dad just nodded rapidly and left, grinning with the case he just found. A minute has passed, and the theme song of the Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was turned on incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. Legend says the term of GigaChat existed before. I think so too. It was turned on. Okay. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Ola had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. He would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump in the middle of the night and turning on the VCR. Curtains helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. What was that shit? Who is it? It's not a novel! And then Ola said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Ola refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night I was unsure what to make of my sister's words. But to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? That night I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew on the whistling hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures, cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of the faces and pairs of eyes blinking into those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the wet-body silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? As a wise man once said, oh, so scary, oh, shiver me. Okay. Okay, will I survive here? Won't they have again up on me and beat me down, stop and me with their bloody shoes? The damn school can burn for all I can. I just wished for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter what I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but only begged me to hand them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as for a way. A small circle of friends. I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. My problem is that I don't have fear, at least not for it was a scary Amogus. Okay. Okay. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in cold voice, "You've got the wrong number," or "I'm dumb is not around. I'm dumb is not around." I imagine my future classmates lying on their beds, just like me, listening to a house of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all, but who would ever like a boy with big glasses? Oh, I mean, my dad used to wear some glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. I, d- we are done joking about mothers, okay, guys? Don't joke about it. We don't. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a nine-floor concrete building, buzzed with a neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from a big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy-going during the day. Its shadows lay dormant on the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Bro, why didn't they just show Yakov face? I was set in my pants from here. Okay, I will make it. Okay. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their Asian eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking rusty drains were moaning. The attic was occupied by nosy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in the sound of the wind, of the creaking outhouse, and my boots too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. Imagine a coconut mode for a tiny one. Scary shit. It's not like someone is playing there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? What if I don't want to open that? Okay. Shit. Someone was dancing in the cloud. Black silhouettes I could barely make out with the dark forest their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around and rolled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming up. I just created them. It is Peconaut subscribers, then we started stream about Jackbox. Okay. It was a bad meme. Okay. Something bizarre was going on. Shadow dancing at the starless abyss. My imagination got weird, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could see pierced with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from a bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Shit! Oh, whoa! A ghost! What? Eh, that was kind of scary, I think, because no, a wolf. My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to someone wanting to get, move, and scrape around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest showed me at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll, hands running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures clambering up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Ugh. Then her twinkly eyeballs floating in one skin move inside their stockings and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she told me without Volper to do, and now lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls. I was repeating the same words.
На острове Буяне, в Синем океане, стоит Думалина, в ней самый глянь, волосы седые, чертям еда, раба Божьего Антона не тронут никогда.
On the island of Buyan, near the blemished sun in the sea of coral blue, stands a cabin made of wood, with where word and Asian hair for a spawn from Devil's where to feast and always live alone, God's faithful servant named Anton.
Бесы забудут дорогу к дому.
They will leave this house
Мертвый к мертвому,
ashes to
живой
ashes,
к живому.
dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. Okay. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night dosed me with the new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hard, glowing a good demanding to do it. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he started hurrying off. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone.
Мертвое к мертвому,
Ashes to ashes,
живое к живому.
dust to dust. Ah, that's not scary, I think. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drew the door with my eyes. The so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. Back. What back? You're back. So, some shit had come to our house. It was maybe a wolf or something else. I don't know. And then the doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned half away once, twice, as if a person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tittled once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My fingers clutched a blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind found me moaning inside the tin drains. Now you will see. The door was wide open. The darkness breathed inside the carnival smoke of a doorway. It was as if night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking the breast pieces. I was trembling and shed by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for one who wished to come out of the gaping black hole. My abdomen tightened, my chest was up. Really takes terror the first scream. But before I was able to do anything, the Narcosac screamed.
Ты спишь,
Tosha,
Тоша?
you asleep? I thought that was... I was just joking my brother, no big... Ah, okay. Okay. My sister's pale face broke through from the thick shadows. You little shit, you scared me. I almost creeped from the
Оля, я не сплю.
I'm not sleeping.
Что случилось?
Did something happen? Ola frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry.
Оно опять
Again,
пялится на
me.
меня. Прогони
Shoot her
ее,
away,
Тоша.
Tosha. Please.
Прогони, я так
I'm
боюсь.
so scared. And the fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago rolled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Ola down.
Это был сон, глупая.
Those are
Не
just
пугайся.
dreams, silly.
Сны не
Don't be scared.
кусаются.
Dreams don't
Никто
bite.
тебя не
No one's
обидит.
going to harm you. Oh, let's so. Stephen. She was trying her best to believe me, but was I sure
У меня есть
myself?
идея.
I have an idea.
А пойдем к
Let's
тебе
go
в комнату,
to-
видик
let's
посмотрим.
go to your
Спящую
room,
красавицу,
watch
например.
the video, Sleeping Beauty, for example.
Тебе же нравится
You
этот
like that
мультик?
cartoon, don't you?
Почему у спящей красавицы принца у меня эта страшная птица?
Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince? They have a scary bird. It's a red relic of Russia. Not. Be happy that you have a bird, not a bear, not a polar bear. That question took me by surprise.
Ладно, давай
Right,
посмотрим
let's
Золушку.
watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled fuzzy. What was that? That stared at me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon. The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled. My grandma saw chance. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of white and long Asian hair.
Тоша, ты идешь?
Tosha, you coming?
Да, сейчас.
No, my stream! No. No. Shit. I was scared. Ah. Did you see a wolf? Because I was scared because it was a jump scare. I don't know. Stream was no. Yeah. Where was a jump scare? So I just got a heart attack. I didn't see a thing. It's sad because I really got scared. Stream was lagging. I saw that, yeah. So yeah. Why? No, it didn't save. No. Well, if I could find that moment, I will send this on the Discord. Don't open! It's a wolf! Of who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. It's whatever. Okay. Stop it. so persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging to hide. Why? Nobody's searching you. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olaf always hides.
Тоша, подойди-ка сюда.
Tosha, come here. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over in the doorway. They smelled like frozen worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars worse than bandits. At the moment, the four she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello? The senior officer, with a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся.
Boy had
Вовой
gone
зовут.
missing yesterday. His name's Paul.
Глянь, пожалуйста.
Look at
Ты
his-
его не видел?
Please, have you seen him? The policeman held out a photo. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop, and had a striped cat in his hands and wore a white smile.
Нет.
No, I haven't. Wait, a Vova is a cat or a boy?
Точно?
Are you sure?
Посмотри
Look
внимательнее.
closely.
Где мне его видеть?
Where will I
Я
see
тут
him?
никого не
I
знаю.
don't know
Да и из
anyone
дома-то
around
почти
here.
не
I
выхожу.
barely leave the house.
А может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you have seen him from
Да.
the window.
У тебя ведь окна на
That's
лес.
right. Your windows look straight to the forest, don't they? A window.
Нет, не видел.
No, I haven't seen.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare worn and heavy, was full of suspicion. I screamed, unwittingly under the weight of guilt which his kind shadow cast over me. The policeman finally turned his eye from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling that I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на
How
новом
do you
месте?
like your new place?
Попривыкли
by the way?
уже?
Getting used to it.
Понемногу. Только
Yes,
вот
by
дочка
this.
маленькая по
That's
городу
just our
скучает.
little doctor, Miss Lexi.
Скучает, значит.
Mrs.
Из местных
Huh?
вас никто не
Have the
беспокоит?
locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything is alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю,
Now that I think about
ты
it,
малец на племеша
Bill
моего
was
похож.
like just one of my nephews, little
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет.
sweet boy,
С такими же
around your
окулярами.
age.
Все книжками
That's
зачитывался.
the same type of
Детективами.
Always in growth and reading those mystery novels.
Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает
Told
поступить.
me he wants to enroll in a police school when his family visited this
Как
summer.
я. Хотел
Wants
людям
to
помогать.
help other people,
Смекаешь?
just like me, see? Felt uncomfortable as if a distance waited and not a police officer stood before
Ох, ребятушки.
me. You know what?
Сидите-ка вы лучше дома.
Otherwise, like,
Не ввязывайтесь
you
ни во
should
что.
stay at home, steer away
Жизнь
from trouble.
сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Ah, well,
Ты,
then,
Антон, в каком классе
what
учишься?
grade are you in,
В
Anton?
6-м.
Sixth?
Друзей-то на новом месте
Have
еще
you
не завел?
made any friends here so far?
Пока нет.
Not
Я
yet.
только после каникул в
I'll
школу
be
пойду.
going to school for the first time after the
Тогда
break.
вот вам на всякий случай мой
Then
номер.
I'll leave you my
Звоните,
number,
если-
just in case. Come,
Если
if you
узнаете что.
have my new info. Or have a new... The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around history? Or would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually?
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу
Mom,
заблудился?
this Willa, did he go missing in our forest? Oh no, a ginger, the worst type of person to come across. Okay.
Выходит, что так.
Seems like it.
Бедный ребенок.
Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police was drove the door to the village. What it was? A Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was product on the Ulyanov car factory. Aha. Both a new few came to mind. Then I was splitting off old paint from a windowsill. I remembered and all the teenage mystery novels from a Black Kitty series. I've read the Son of Black Kitty. A series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. Your average boys and girls investigate for all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that West boy. And I'll get a reward. Ola will be so happy. And not only Ola, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about the world for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the T word. I fantasized about buying Ola a Tamagotchi and getting a case player and a bunch of tapes for myself and a whole box of Kinder Surprise. They're too good. Then was the last time our parents bought us any toys. Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost on his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I commented, and sung by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Kombinatsia. Combination. They became widely popular in the early 90s. I had a little to no idea what was a accountant job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and that would always divide by a single chocolate bar between me and Ola. Sometimes I gave her my share too, no matter how much I wanted to eat sweet. I couldn't wait to go out. Looking for
Пойду
fruits.
погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, сейчас.
Yeah, right.
Чтобы потом
You
милиционеры
want
с
the
твоей
police
фотографией по
to
домам
go
ходили.
around with your photograph next?
Лес вон какой
The
густой.
forest is so thick.
А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или
What
того
if
хуже?
the guy got snatched up by wild animals, or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through the
Да
hallway.
я рядом буду.
I
В
won't
лес
go
не пойду.
far. I was still away from the forest.
Что я тебе сказала?
Did you hear
Мне
what I
дважды
said?
повторять.
Or shall I repeat myself?
Лучше портфель
Better
собери
go
или с
back
Олей
in your
поиграй.
school bag or play with Ola. The sound of splashing of water came from the kitchen. It meant that an argument was over, and Mom had the last word. Oh shit. Oh,
Антон, сейчас ремня получишь. Ни шагу за порог.
okay. Sure. Les Cross had seen so many people come and go into this house. It was black as if it was or he was seen from worn years and was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself across the sharp corner and almost fell from the step with it. Did go to the sun from above, and heard it was to be left alone in its rightful place. This has become entertaining to me again. Okay. The dark stuff you go. Oh, X. We can Mom said it smells like mice, but how would she know they smell? She hates them and I stick my nose in them. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And all I can even be lured closely. She thinks bye-bye is living there. Bye-bye! I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned the lamp so she would see there's nothing but cobwebs, dead stools, and scratch balls. But she still didn't believe me. And I whacked to hide in the closet and listened to all them going outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then dragged her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the private monster's den. Okay, we need to go to kitchen maybe? Emperor of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, the cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snow drifts on the roads. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. Okay. What is it? The sight of a North Ocean freezer was shaken with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs and Wanda like so much. And on that still life picture, highly please. I'm so sorry. Of root paper, the phone number at the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's brown handwriting. A scrap of paper was held by 2 pieces of a broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and those pieces just barely covered up the numbers, as if to taunt me. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I would finally find Wova and be the first to call the police with happy news.
Антон,
Антон! Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me.
зачем тебе?
What do you
Не
need it
трогай,
for?
потеряешь же.
Hands off, use it. And hearing my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Shit. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Oliver, but now I could only see meat, bits, or soup and clams together. Pelmeni! I grew to hate them already. A Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling them, and one may even call it Russian fast food. Okay. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from
Мам,
home.
там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Wrong with the TV.
Картинка какая-то
The
тусклая,
picture
и
is
экран
dim
весь
and
в
there
полосах.
are stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became wisely distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь.
Oh,
Дострелялся в уток
you're
своих.
like killing me here. So you had enough of shooting the stupid axe.
Говорила же, посадите мне
Told
телескоп
you the
своей
telescope
приставкой.
will go dim because of your console.
Где мы теперь мастера найдем
Where
в
we
дыре
will
этой, а?
find the TV technician in this hall, huh?
Может быть, просто
Maybe it's
настройки
just the
сбились?
settings.
Сходи, посмотри,
Please go
пожалуйста.
see for yourself.
Нормально.
Strange. It worked fine in the morning.
Из-за снегопада, наверное,
Maybe the
неполадки.
snowfall caused it. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Ollie's room. Okay, frontier. I'm here by the way, just playing a game and listening to this. Oh, okay. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. Then I crossed half of a distance toward the forest. The snow piles became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw silhouettes around me here. We were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all in its own. And the light of day, those distant figures, felt like a simple dream. The sun turned to my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow outside, and a very audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Ola. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended in the forest by stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Ola turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple days off before we departed. It was hard to remember the worst time Mom and Dad joked around, wasn't it? Or spent time together. I was like, oh, wait, was a rebellious lie. Then they kissed with all the presents she always droned and what? Not in a funny way, but one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our the previous home. And somewhere far away a siren was going off trying to warn us of the coming menace. I should have chasing away my delusions and looked around. There were only me, with white cloud, and the wind that was sweeping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles from into the ice. Dry prickly branches into... Oh! What is it? Bring up comfortable and were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wanted bird among the hungry synagogue. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of the Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Whites. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Did this meeting help them find the lost boy? Volva! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from a river. Volva! As if the trees were calling out of someone. Volva sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. Volva! I knew someone was looking for a lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about the figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings wildly. A shadow split from a tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but then I turned my gaze back to the same place. It was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence remained for a painfully long time. Or not. My muscles were tightly around my head, was beating somewhere in my throat. And noise, any little movement and small whisper, or any small whisper from the thicket, and I screamed, but nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Well, we have now first choice to run away or take that freaking blow on someone's behind the trees. But I will end this, so yeah. Thank you everyone for being on the stream. Thank you Matt for being there. Thank you Bagelnut and some Russian guy who said just hello and leave the stream. So yep. That was nice, but I think we need to end out because it is too late, I think. Thank you all for being with me. Good night, guys, and now one more thing. Don't look in the woods. Bruh, that sounds really creepy. So yep. Thank you all. Thank you for being on my stream. Goodbye. Bye Potato Mage. Bye Matt.